Hi guys, I'm Paul from Constrictors and welcome to the 6th instalment of the 2 Minute Tuesday. Now, just before I begin, I'm going to keep the name 2 Minute Tuesday, but I'm no longer going to put 2 minutes on the clock because it's just an unrealistic amount of time to cover any real subject. So I'll keep the name, but no longer will it be factually a 2 Minute Tuesday. But let's face it, other than the very first video, it never really was. So this subject is brought to us by me through the power of Facebook. So last night I decided to ask the question if we are dropping the correct terminology of possible from possible hets and just running with the percentage and the word het, which can, in my opinion, be very misleading to newcomers to the industry. Now, some of the bigger breeders out there that's done it for many years, just like I've done it for many years, have chosen not to use the word possible because in their opinion, people should do their own research and learn what I'm about to explain. But I think that's a little bit unfair for us to just expect everybody to be fully up to date with genetics, because in the very beginning it can be quite confusing and in some cases sellers can be a little bit misleading. Now, in the very early days, before this community became incredibly strong and more of a friendship community than a rivalry community, people were selling POS hets that really was never POS het. They were selling hets that wasn't het, and I've been stung with that many times over. So I think it's a little bit unfair for us to think that everybody should just go out and do an abundance of research, learn genetics, and then get into the industry. The truth is, many of us bought into ball pythons when we were very young, typically starting off with a normal, and how the industry has now gone on, you can buy a piebald for a couple of £100. So people are actually getting into the industry in what would have been a very high level many years ago. So I'm going to echo myself again and say I think it's grossly unfair for us just to expect everyone to be a genetics wizard when it comes to hets, possible hets, 50%, 66. But I'm going to wrap it up into a very short segment on breaking down what 50, 66 and 100% really translates to. So let's not put 2 minutes on the clock and let's go. So if you breed a piebald ball python to a normal ball python, every single baby will be 100% het. And what 100% means is it's without question, it's het. I'm guaranteeing you it's het, and that's it. That's all it means. The correct terminology is heterozygous for piebald. No numbers, no percentages. It's either het or it isn't. So when you look at 50% and 66% possible het, it gets a little bit more technical. So here we go. If you breed a normal het piebald to a normal non-het, so if you breed a 100% het to a 0% het, half the babies will be het for piebald and the other half isn't. So you've got a 1 in 2 chance of picking a pied if you go on to buy one. If you have 10 eggs, 5 will be het pied and the other 5 will not be. So that gives you a 50% possible het chance of picking the correct one. That's it. So if you move on and you breed a het piebald to a het piebald and you get 4 eggs, one of the eggs statistically should hatch out a visual piebald. So well done, you've finally got your visual pied. And you're left with 3 babies. Now this is where it gets a little bit more technical if you're not in the know. So because 100 cannot be divided correctly or equally into 3, we drop it down to 99. And that's simply because 1 baby will be not het, so 0 het. 2 babies will be 100% het, or correct terminology, 2 babies will be het. So that's a 66% chance, 2 in 3, so 33 is 1 chance, 66 is 2, and then what 99, or the correct terminology is 100, is it's without question. So 1 baby will be normal, so So one baby will be pied, a visual pied, so it doesn't take Einstein to work out what that one is. So we just remove that one from the remaining babies. So one baby will be 0% het. It will just be a normal. The remaining two babies will be 100% het for piebald, but because you cannot see it, because it's the genotype and not the phenotype, you can't guarantee which one it is. Now, I'm not going to go into markers and ringers and blah blah blah. We're just doing a very simple genetics video. So it gives you a 66, what means 2 in 3 chance of picking the correct one. So statistically speaking, if somebody like myself hatched 4 eggs, 1 was a pied, and then you bought the 3 normals, 2 of them should prove out to be het pied, and the 1 remaining baby should prove out not to be het pied, and that's it. So if you are in the opinion of a 66% het means 66 out of 100 babies should be piebald, unfortunately you've got the wrong information. Now, while I'm on the subject of wrong information, let me just say this. As humans, we listen to somebody that sounds like they know what they're talking about, and we believe them and we run with that advice. Trust me, from running a successful marine, aquatic and reptile shop, well, owning the marine, aquatic and reptile shop, trust me, people in shops and places like that have a position of power, just like teachers in school. Teachers could teach you wrong mathematics and you run with it for many years and not realizing that you're actually doing it wrong. So when you're in a shop or listening to a breeder, don't just take their word for it, always do further research. But as humans, we take their word for it and trust what they're saying is accurate because they sound like they know what they're talking about. So for many breeders to say, oh, people should do their research, maybe they have, but unfortunately what they have been told has been misleading, just like people would. In the very early days, saying that 66 means you'll hatch pies, but only 66 out of 100 will be. Trust me, in my shop, the amount of people that's come in and said, oh, I only wanted a 66% het pie because I don't want all pies, I actually do want to have some normals. It's mind-blowing how many people are under that impression. So let's not hold it against them for not falling on the correct advice and correct information first and foremost. Let's try and help them and use the words possible in our writing. Now quickly, Billy Rose, for instance, said, on my cards, my ID cards are that long, I dropped the word possible, and I get that. But that doesn't matter because Billy's facility is really for his eyes and his staff's eyes only. So if I worked for Billy, I would understand his terminology. But when we're in reptile shows and when we're selling things, I think you really should use the words possible and explain what you mean by it. So in a nutshell, if it's a 50% possible het pied, it means a 1 in 2 chance. It either is or it isn't, that's it. If it's a 66% possible het chance, then it's 2 in 3. So the chances are in your favour, you will pick the correct one, but you've still got a 33% chance, a 1 in 3, of picking the incorrect one. And then 100% hets are hets, that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this very short and mildly technical video. I've probably got a few little words and sentences wrong, but I'm just trying to tick the boxes with hets because so many people do get the wrong information. And let's not hold it against them. Let's just try and help them and improve this hobby further because this hobby is certainly to be enjoyed. So if you like this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it 2 thumbs down, and I'll probably see you on Thursday. Cheers, guys.